Hello, Collective. It's that time again. It's time for another exciting episode of Two Tones Terrifying Tarot Tales. I'm your host and terrifying tarot tale teller, Two Tone. This is the show where I deliver to you a terrifying tarot tale on a terrible public figure. So, hold on to your underwear and let's get started. Okay, Titans, it's time to return to Two Tones Terrifying Tarot Tales. It's been a while, and I'm going to try to make this fast. These are supposed to be faster than the other readings. So, I'm looking here at this guy. This is Ron DeSantis. Look at his face. Looks like he just ate something sour, or maybe he just smelled his own ass. I'm not really sure. But he is currently running for president. He is the current governor of Florida, and he operates Florida like a tyrannical dictator. Donald Trump is at odds in opposition to Ron DeSantis. Donald Trump, horrible Donald Trump, he calls Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctus, Ron DeSanctimonious, and he even calls him Rob DeSantis. So I'm going to go with this horrible creature and call this horrible creature Rob DeSantis. So recently, Rob DeSantis had a kind of a coming out party as a new presidential candidate with Elon Musk. And I don't think it went too well. Anyway, so who is this Ron DeSantis, aka Rob DeSantis? Ronald Dion DeSantis is an American conservative politician serving since 2019 as the 46th governor of Florida. A member of the Republican Party, DeSantis represented Florida's 6th congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives from 2013 to 2018. And he is currently running for president. And so let's look at some headlines really quick. New York Times, 5 takeaways from Ron DeSantis' first campaign trip. Ron DeSantis, the combative governor of Florida, joined the race on May 24th, but his official entry into the 2024 campaign was spoiled by a glitch-filled, ridiculous, foolish adventure with Elon Musk. Okay, The Atlantic, Ron DeSantis' joyless ride. The ultimate performative politician doesn't seem to enjoy the in-person performance of politics. Okay. City Journal. Can Ron DeSantis run an insurgency campaign? Ron DeSantis, insurgent, the Florida governor has an opportunity to address the everyday Americans' frustrations with the political system. The Guardian. Ron DeSantis then attacks heckler who called him a fascist. A South Carolina heckler called Ron DeSantis a fucking fascist on Friday. In response, the Florida governor and Republican presidential candidate said, "Thank you, may I have another?" NBC6. Ron DeSantis wraps up first early states tour as presidential candidate with more personal touch. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was wrapping up his first tour of early voting states as a presidential candidate on Friday, showcasing his personal side. The Hill. DeSantis shouts down heckler at South Carolina rally. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis shouted down a heckler who called him a fascist at a presidential campaign rally in South Carolina on Friday. New York Times. Ron DeSantis snaps at a reporter. Are you blind? Ron DeSantis snaps at a reporter. Are you blind? The Florida governor, who has frequently clashed with the press, was asked about taking questions from people with big brains. CNN, DeSantis is trying to convince Republicans the Trump years weren't all that great. Will they believe him? No. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis delivers remarks at a presidential campaign stop in Laconia, New Hampshire on June 1st, 2023. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. So this one right here is directly from the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor Ron DeSantis appoints Charbel Barakat to the Toilet Flushing Committee. Tallahassee, Florida. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis announced the appointment of Charbel Barakat to the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Billboard. Florida Rep. Maxwell Frost joins Paramore for Misery Business. Slams Ron DeSantis at D.C. concert. Florida Rep. Maxwell Frost joins blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and I think I don't know who that is. It might be Taylor Swift. Who knows? So those were some of the headlines. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a terrifying tarot tale for this terrible, treacherous, awful, pus-filled person. Beauty of Horror tarot deck, come to my hand. Haha, yeah, all right. So I've shuffled these like 400 times off camera. I'm going to shuffle them on camera. Then I'm going to cut them. All right, let's see here. We're going to get busy with this. Okay, universe, what can you tell us about Ron DeSantis, aka Rob DeSantis? What should we know right now about Rob DeSantis? Whoa, we got one already. Landed like that. The Empress. All right, the Empress is very fertile. Look at that. She is a fertile monster. This, I think, is probably Rob DeSantis. Yep. Oh, look at that. I turned it over. He don't like being called Rob DeSantis. Let's get that over there. See if we can kind of squeeze that in. Yeah, all right. And the bottom card for the Empress for Rob DeSantis. The Hanged Man. Looks like a mummy, right? A dead guy wrapped in bandages who's really sort of undead, right? All right. Okay, universe, what else do you want us to know? All right, let's see what this is here. We got two that came out. This hit the table first. The Queen of Wands for Rob DeSantis. All right. And this hit next. The Page of Swords. All right. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, universe, what else do you want us to know about Rob DeSantis? Oh, I didn't check the bottom card, huh? Sorry, I forgot about it. It's been a while, so you know how it goes. Let's see what happens. It might be that I'm only going to get 3. Let's see. Oh, there goes another one. Wow. Look at that. That is the 5 of Wands. This looks like the modern day Republican Party. They're completely in conflict with each other and anything else that disagrees with them. They're all monsters. They look like zombies, and they're more than likely undead. Let's see if we can move his face, his horrible face up. I don't think so, huh? Hold on one second. Okay, I tried. So here's the bottom card for the 5 of Wands, and that is the Queen of Swords. I wonder if that's Rob DeSantis' wife. We'll see. Okay, universe, what else would you like us to know about Rob DeSantis? Whoa. Okay, I think that's the last 2 we're gonna do. This one, I think you could say hit first. Wow, look at that. That is the 4 of Pentacles. I believe that's the Miser card, isn't it? That looks like him a little bit. Doesn't that look like Rob DeSantis? I mean, look at that. Let's compare. Yeah, it's looking a little bit like him. And the 7 of Cups. This has to do with options. Okay, wow. So what I want to do is we're gonna we might read a little bit from here, or I'll show the pictures, but the other book probably has better explanations. So hang tight. I forgot about the bottom card again. So let's look at the bottom card. Now this is probably for the whole reading. So that looks like something that makes sense to me. That looks like the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I think Rob DeSantis is going to be getting Ten of Sworded pretty soon. So, I mean, we're going to be witnessing this horrible candidate get on stage and be useless, just like the majority of them. And I think at the end of the day, he's going to get betrayed or Ten of Sworded. I don't know how to say that. Ten of Swords? Ten of Sworded? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to Rob DeSantis going down. It's going to be great. Beauty and Horror Tarot Guidebook, come to my hand. Haha, yeah. So this book is pretty cool. It's got good pictures in it. The only problem is sometimes I feel like the explanations aren't so great. So we're going to see how far we can go with the explanations here. So the first card for Rob DeSantis is the Empress, and her name is Guliana. Herself makes her first joyous appearance, and in what better role than that of the Empress, the Queen of the Spirit World. With her usual not knowing grin, she sits on her throne. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So I might fast forward some of this, okay? Let's just do keywords, okay? Passion, emotion, desire, power to inflame people. So yeah, I think that the Empress is a very fertile energy, and with this particular deck, it's filled with monsters, and Rob DeSantis is a monster, and he definitely has the power to inflame people, and with all his horrible policies in Florida. So as you can see, this is the beginning of his understanding his energies. The next card is the Queen of Wands. I think this also represents Rob DeSantis. Someone, woman or man, you or someone else who loves life and is confident and relaxed. The world seems to respond to her positive energy. As Queen of Fire and the phallic wand, she is often called the most sexual as well as the happiest of all the queens. So I think there's a queen deep down inside of Rob DeSantis, and it's very sexual, and he's repressing it. This is why he's so mean to the LGBT community. So obviously this book is coming apart, so I'm just going to keep going as best as I can. So the next card that Rob DeSantis got is the Page of Swords. Someone eager for battle. Yeah, Rob really is definitely eager for battle. He is going to try and take on Trump and any other Republican. And the horrible policies he put in place in Florida, his base, they love those horrible policies. They think he's great. Like, they think he's a breath of fresh air. I think he really does have a little bit of a chance, because there's, the entire side, that whole political side, the right, the conservative, libertarian, Republican side, is filled with these awful people, and they love the awful things that DeSantis has been doing. So for the Page of Swords, someone eager for battle. He's tasted victory. He's been very victorious for his horrible side. And once more, in the real world, this can mean many things, many ways to fight and draw blood. A fortune-telling tradition describes him as a spy. So this card could be Rob, or it could be somebody inside his circle. If it's someone else, you need to guard your secrets. If it's you, who do you spy on and what do you discover? He's probably spying on everybody in Florida. Who knows? The next card for DeSanctimonious is the Five of Wands. Competition or battle, but without malice or harm. So if you watch DeSantis on TV, he's sort of slowly criticizing Trump. He's sort of carefully tiptoeing around Trump, but yet he sort of is kind of criticizing him a little bit, but not totally. And I think gradually, as this whole campaign season unfolds, we're going to see DeSantis more and more start to attack Trump. Competition or battle, but without malice or harm. Games and sports. This can be a difficult card in a relationship because it can mean someone who likes to fight. So obviously he likes to fight in general. He just likes to get rowdy against people asking him questions in general. He's really uncooperative with journalists. But now it's campaign season, so he's revving up to fight. He's revving up to fight. I still think that he's eating pudding with his fingers. And I still think that he's hiding that. I think I want to see more people expose the truth of DeSantis and his pudding eating. The next card is the Four of Pentacles. As you can see, this book is breaking on me. So the Four of Pentacles, which has this jack-o'-lantern here, this jack-off lantern. So Rob DeSantis was a JAG officer in the military, and he was at Guantanamo Bay, and he was supervising the torture of innocent Muslims in Guantanamo Bay. So, you know, one thing you can definitely say about Rob DeSantis is that he's a jagoff. So that's why we see the jagoff lantern here. And it's the Four of Pentacles, which represents temptation, things that undermine stability, and something fascinating and mysterious. It's also the Miser card, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but this looks like a horrible person who has power over things, over institutions, even over buildings, and that sounds like DeSantis. And he's got that evil grin, and he's holding on to whatever he has and not sharing or helping any others. The final card for DeSantis is the Seven of Cups, which is a card associated with options. And for here it says, for meanings, it says fantasies, daydreams of pudding, desires, possibly some realization that can thrill or disturb the person. So I think, you know, he's got a lot of weird fantasies about becoming the president of the United States. I mean, he's already created his own National Guard in Florida that reports only to him. This is not a standard National Guard that already exists and that reports to, you know, the state government, which, you know, really ended up reporting to the federal government sooner or later. He created a whole new Florida National Guard that only reports to Rob DeSantis. So, you know, this guy has delusions of grandeur. I mean, this guy, talk about my precious. This guy is more of a my precious. What's Gollum from Lord of the Rings? He's more of a my precious Gollum than Hillary Clinton is. And Hillary Clinton, she's determined to get her precious. And the bottom card for either the whole reading or basically for the last card, but I think it's probably the bottom card for the whole reading. It's the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is a card of betrayal. It's a card of ending, horrible, violent, brutal, terrible ending. It's disaster. It's sort of like a Tower card. Okay? And the meanings are mental pain and anguish, but also a surrender that lifts us above simple suffering. In my opinion, it lifts you above simple suffering into more advanced suffering. But it also says purity and wonder. So he's gonna have a wonderful time suffering, which is great. I'm so delighted that Rob DeSantis is gonna suffer. I hope he suffers for a long time. So now it's time for some clarification. Two Tones Infernal deck, come to my hand. Haha, yeah. I'm gonna shuffle it and then cut it. I've already shuffled it 100 times before, but you know what? Let's do another shuffle just for the heck of it. Let's do it the other way because these cards are kind of bent. I've got to try to get them. Okay, now we're gonna do a cut. So yeah, let's see. Let's get some clarification on these cards for DeSantis. This is supposed to be a short episode, but I don't know. I don't know how to manage this. We're gonna figure it out along the way. Okay, universe, I need clarification for the Empress for Rob DeSantis. Whoa, that was pretty fast. I hope you guys saw that. Sometimes I don't know if you see any of this. So, discontent. So DeSantis is discontent with his fertile poison that he's been putting out. He feels like he hasn't been putting out enough poison, and he's discontent with his fertility. So let's get a clarification for the Queen of Wands for Rob DeSantis. Whoa, I didn't think that was gonna happen. So this came out first, and it landed like this for the Queen of Wands. So I think maybe it's sort of almost like it's sort of evenly deficient. So his his Queen of Wands, let's take a quick look at Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a fiery, passionate, sexual energy, and he's almost, see, when it's sideways like that, you know, I think that is, if there was a meter going from being deficient to not deficient, it's halfway. So he's pretty much almost deficient. He's almost totally deficient. And then the other card is indifferent. So he's indifferent to his deficiency of sexual passion. So I think it's those white boots that he keeps trying to wear. Seriously, I think he should not wear those white boots anymore. He looks like a freak. Okay, universe, I need a clarification for the Page of Swords. Oh, there it is. I see why he's indifferent to his sexual energy, because he has HPV. This is something that you normally see with women, and it gets into their vaginas somehow. But it is possible for HPV to get into men's penises, and I think Rob DeSantis has got HPV. It's sad. It might be from this sword right here. So his Page of Swords is, let's revisit the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is someone eager for battle. He's tasted victory once more. In the real world, this can mean many things, many ways to fight and draw blood. I think he's been using his sword in the wrong way, and he's been drawing some blood, and that's why he's got HPV now. A fortune-telling tradition describes him as a spy. He's been spying. He's been spying with his sword. If it's someone else, you need to guard your secrets. Yeah, he needs to guard his HPV secret. And if it's you, who do you spy on, and what do you discover? Well, I mean, it's possible he's spying on his wife. Maybe she gave him HPV. You know, that's pretty weird and creepy. So let's get a clarification for the Five of Wands for Rob DeSantis. Oh, two of them came out. This hit first. Options. It's funny because this is the options card. So he has options with conflict. He has options with training and conflict and getting ready for war. But he's apathetic. He's apathetic towards his options. Okay. So he's silly because he's apathetic towards his options. I need to find a way to get that to display there. Okay, there we go. So let's get a universe. We need clarification for the Four of Pentacles for Rob DeSantis. Oh man, I kind of feel like that was a fat finger. And it landed like this. It landed like this. This would have been the first. Oh, syphilis. He's got syphilis. That sucks. That's another STD. He's got 2 STDs already, and he's forsaken, or he's almost forsaken. Almost. Actually, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second here. I just realized something. This card has syphilis and HIV on it. And it landed like this. When a card has 2 of them on it and it lands like this, that means he has both. He's got HIV and syphilis. Yeah, DeSantis, I think, has been playing with his sword too much. That's why there's blood on there. Why his wife needs to get STD checked. And looks like he's almost forsaken because it's sideways. So he's almost forsaken. I would forsake him too. Okay, universe, we need clarification for the Seven of Cups. I hope you saw that. All right, let's see. Oh, so he's playing around with his options. That's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. He's discontent of how fertile he is. I think the Queen of Wands is his wife, and she's deficient, and he's indifferent about her deficiency. And his sword got HPV on it, and he's apathetic about his options when it comes to conflict. You know, he can't decide if he's going to deal with this weird sex shit he's got going on, or if he's going to focus on the campaign. He's forsaken because he's got syphilis and HIV, and I think that happened with this bloody sword with the HPV. And he's this is him right here. He can't believe he's been playing around with these options, and now he has all these STDs. He's such a freak. DeSantis is a freak, and the thing is, Donald Trump also has a lot of STDs. I'm not surprised. They're both these scumbags. They're both scummy guys. Okay, so we're gonna find out what demons are hanging around Rob DeSantis. Okay. Occult Tarot, come to my hand. Haha, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle these. I'm gonna shuffle these one more time. I've already shuffled them 400 times before we started. Okay, and I'm gonna cut them. We're gonna do a excuse me for the coughing, guys. We're gonna do a cut. We're gonna cut it. I don't know why I cut it 5. Normally I cut it 4, but I cut it 5 this time. I think it's because we're talking about the sanctimonious here. Rob the Sanctimonious. Yeah. Okay, universe, can you tell us what demon or demons are hanging around Rob the Sanctions? That was kind of weird. That's kind of weird how that came out. But I'm not surprised. Okay, and I think that it came out like this. Whoa, there's a lot of them that came out. There's a lot. Look at all these that came out, and then this one also. This one also came out. Okay, but let's go with the first one to hit. Amy. Oh wow, Amy. I wonder if he got that from Amy. Amy teaches astrology and liberal sciences, reveals hidden treasure, and brings excellent familiars. Yeah, I bet you he has been messing with familiars. All kinds of different things that's familiar. Valak tells where treasures are hidden and reveals hidden dangers. Yeah, he probably already knows he's got HPV and syphilis and HIV. Scumbag. Okay, let's see. Marcosius, a strong and faithful fighter, follows all commands and answers all questions. Right. Let's see. Basago, it's associated with the Tower card. I'll go back and find out the other ones that are associated with it. He got a Tower card here. Promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehood. Gives generous responses. Gives generous responses. Okay. And let's see here. The last one he got. Citri. Inflames men with women's love. See? Look at this. Syphilis. He's inflamed with syphilis and HIV and HPV. And causes them to show themselves naked if desired. I'm telling you, this guy DeSantis is a freak. Okay, so let's go back over some things here. I'm going to put these over to the side, and we're going to wrap this up. Okay. So the first card was the Empress, and that's a fertile monster card. And he's discontent with his fertile monstrosity. He feels he should be more of a monster. And then the Queen of Wands, I think, is associated with his wife. And that's a sexual energy card, and she apparently is deficient, and he's indifferent toward that. And I think that's why he used his sword here from the Page of Swords to communicate this nasty, poisonous, STD, HPV with somebody. And that's why there's blood on the sword. And there's a conflict here He's preparing for war, for political war and conflict, and he's apathetic with the options though. And then the Four of Pentacles here is this miser energy, this hold on to what he's got energy, which I mean he's got syphilis and HIV. He's holding on to it, and he's forsaken for having that, for holding on to that, and he's playing around with his options, you know. And then he got, for the demons, he got Amy, which is associated with the Six of Pentacles, and Amy is revealing hidden treasures and brings excellent familiars. He's got Valak, which is associated with the Wheel of Fortune, and it tells where treasures are hidden and reveals hidden dangers. So he probably already knows about the syphilis and HIV and HPV he has. And then Marcosius is the Nine of Wands. He's got a strong and faithful fighter. That's probably where he's getting this fighting from, and follows all commands and answers all questions. And then he's got a Visago, which is associated with the Tower, which is a promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehood, and it gives generous responses. And then the last demon he's got is Citri, which is associated with the Ace of Swords, and it inflames men with women's love and women with men's love. So this demon is rubbing up against him. That's why he's using his sword and rubbing up his sword against some other things, and that's why he's got HPV. And it causes them to show themselves naked if desired. So he's got this demon helping him to show his options naked. And that's why he got syphilis, HIV, and HPV. Okay, so this horrible creature's got a bunch of STDs, just like Donald Trump. They're very similar to each other. So this is going to wrap it up for this terrifying tarot tale on this terrible freak, Rob DeSantis. So please, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Please tell all your friends about my crazy ass show. And until next time, I'll see you later.